This is Red Dog Terrain. Welcome back to the shed. Today we finish our jungle skull pool. When last we left, the basic structure was built, so in this video we are Mod Podging, painting, dry brushing, washing, flocking, and adding water. After a base coat of gray, I wanted to test out the water flow one more time before hot gluing it in place. I was happy with the way it looked and flowed, so I proceeded on. I think this is where my big error occurred. As best as I can tell, the hose got pinched, and from here on out, it didn't really flow, it just kind of dripped out. I painted the nose and eye socket, and I added a few stones and bricks and rubble. The pool, nearly full but never overflowing, was murky and filled with rocks and debris. The jungle fauna grew wildly over the structure, slowly eroding the ancient stone. The adventurers gingerly approached the pool. As they got closer, they could hear the slow drip, drip, drip of water. Peering over, they could see no end to the depths of the pool. How far down did it go? And to where? Suddenly, the slow, careful flow of water got louder and quicker. Now at a steady stream and then a gushing flow, the adventurers took a step back. From the pool, a soft, bright glow began to emit. Growing in intensity, the pool was full of sickly yellow light. The water bubbled as something unknown, crested the surface of the water. I know the color and paints on the stone aren't that exciting, but I figured that something that had been sitting in the jungle for centuries would lose its luster, so the whole thing was gray with a simple dry brush of light buttermilk. I slathered on a brown wash and a black wash, and boy does that bring out the texture. I really need to make a better brown wash. It's just too light and barely adds anything to it. But my black wash is too dark. I find it brings down the color too much, and I always have to water it down. It may be time to experiment with ratios and actually write down the results. Then I pulled out my drawer full of moss and flocks and started dropping them all over the place. It's hard to know where to put them so that it looks natural. I had a conversation with a subscriber about it. They suggested doing tufts and flowers, etc., in groups of 3s, 2s, and singles, so that you would have 3 tufts close by, and then 2 tufts close by, and then a single tuft by itself. We want foliage to have a nice spread across what we are building, but that's not really natural. Grasses and flowers will grow in small clusters, not evenly spread around. I'm going to try this on my next grassy piece and compare. Then I started working with a product I had never used before, Woodland Scenic's Realistic Water. I knew that the pool wouldn't always have water in it, like when it was sitting on the shelf, but I still wanted it to look wet. This stuff works great. I only put down a thin layer, but I did exactly what I wanted. The only weird thing is that it discolored some of the moss. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it turned one of the green mosses a bright aqua. For the outside of the pool, I did a green wash, and this had a great, wonderful effect. It was subtle, but it gave the whole thing a much dingier and an abandoned to the elements look. After that, it was flock, moss, grass, some kind of stringy moss, tough sticks, everywhere. The frog people, known as bullywugs, gathered around the pool. Rhythmically, they tapped their staves into the ground and beat them against their wooden shields. The bright light was receding. The water flow was diminishing. Having lured the brash adventurers away from the safety of their town and deep into the jungle I had worked, dropping a few gold pieces left a trail they foolishly followed right to the pool. Once there, they would be unable to resist the call of their serpentine god Zahir. Now satiated, Zahir returned to the underworld and blessed the tribe with power and prosperity. But this good fortune would only last so long. Zahir would soon be hungry again. I was so nervous doing this final test, but it held together. There were no leaks, and it works. The flow isn't as strong as I would like, and when my friend is done using it for her campaign, I'll probably cut it open to adjust it. Nevertheless, I'm proud of myself. I successfully used a pump for the first time, I did my first piece with real water, and I used resin for the first time. And I think it looks pretty cool.